We're back with another episode here of Book It. My name is Will McNeil.
And I'm Camille Teodoro.
And we're really excited to talk about today's episode, which is all about relationships. Relationships with casting directors, which is crucial for booking jobs, right?
Yeah.
And then talking about relationships with your agents. And both of those are fundamental pieces of maintaining a working relationship, a frequency in booking and getting called in, and at the end of the day, your livelihood.
Yeah, just a good flow and consistency.
I feel like I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. So what's been happening? Are we booking? Are we doing? You got a new haircut and a new
Things
color.
Are
it looks
happening. I got a
fabulous.
new haircut. I got a change up. I just felt like I was a little stagnant, and I just felt like my gut was telling me to do something new. I haven't told my agent yet, but I'm sure they will see it. I will let them know.
You did not tell your agent before you cut it. That is like...
I feel like this is still very relatable. It's one thing if I was going like really crazy change and bold.
It's not a drastic
It's
cut
still a
length.
role. It
Yeah.
would just change the type of roles that I had, and that's exactly what I wanted to do.
While I'm sure this is great for your own psyche,
It feels good, yeah.
do you also feel like this is something that maybe the casting directors would feel like they get a fresh look at you? 'Cause I'm sure they see your face all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see.
We'll give you guys an update.
Yeah,
in a
we'll
couple of
give you an
weeks.
update. Yeah, but things are feeling good. I feel like my energy is definitely making it's nice. It's always good to have different sometimes, and whenever you become like a little complacent or comfortable or, stagnant, like I said, just something as little as a haircut can really boost things,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How about any good bookings, any exciting castings, anything you're working on?
Yeah, I actually have 2 shoots coming up this Thursday. An e-commerce job in the morning, and then right after that, a jewelry job, both print. Unfortunately, I just got released for a 3-day shoot for a SAG commercial, but that's
that was
okay.
SAG.
It was SAG, but that's okay. We're moving on to the next. What about you?
I feel like I'm finally getting a breath from work. I feel like I've dug myself out of the trenches of edits that were due, jobs that were just piling back to back to back. But I feel like I'm finally out of that and ready to kind of like get back and like really hone in on what I want to have completed for the next month. And my goal for the next month is to rebuild a page for my website to focus on corporate headshots of all things.
There you go.
And so that's one of the new business strategies that I'm working on for my photography business and ad revenue.
That's a really good idea. I feel like a lot of commercial businesses need that.
And they are embarrassingly bad headshots for a lot of these companies.
Terrible. I've seen those benches on the streets.
Yeah. I've never had, even when I had a full-time 9-to-5 job, I've always had side things I was working on. I feel like I don't just go to a job, come home, and just like watch TV and then wake up and do the same thing the next day. Like that's not me. I'm always like, where else can I be working on something? Where else can I do? You spend a lot of time doing things you don't love to pay for the things that you do love.
Exactly.
Right? And for me, I find that headshots are going to be the thing that I don't love it. But it's a possibility for me to make good money so that I could afford to do other things like finance this project further, to finance my sports life further, to finance all that, so that I could have a really good, steady stream of income coming from something that doesn't take up too much of my time, like maybe, for example, doing big campaigns for commercial brands. That takes a lot of time for prep and everything. Headshots doesn't take as much energy.
Right.
So talking about money, let's talk about building relationships. So we're going to start today about casting directors. What you can do, what you shouldn't do when you kind of walk in the audition room. I know there's some faux pas, but let's talk about some of the things that you like to do when you walk into an audition room.
Well, when I walk into an audition room, I'm just focused and I'm there. I'm zoned in when I walk into the room. You definitely don't go and assert yourself to the casting director and try to make yourself stand out. They know you're there. They're the ones who actually brought you in. So the last thing you need to do is like, oh, hey, yeah, remember me? Camille, thank you so much for bringing me in. Like, you're there to work. You're not there to brown nose. You think that by making small talk with the director is going to make you look any better. No, it's not. You're just wasting people's time. They've been there since, I don't know, say XYZ, and they're just trying to see as many people as possible so they could go to lunch or just go home.
It sounds to me like you don't want to be holding people up
Yeah.
to make your small talk and to do all that and to do
Exactly. I guess it's all with intention.
be authentic.
The way to be remembered is leaving an impression in the room through your audition and doing a great job by listening and just being focused and doing your job. That's how you'll be remembered.
And if they know that when you walk in the room that you're going to deliver, that's a good way for them to remember you and call you back, right?
Exactly. Since we're on the topic with casting directors, another way is simply confirming your castings when you get them. Just being very quick to respond, whether you're confirming or you're canceling. I know hands down, talking to several, all casting directors are really big with confirmations. Like the sooner, the better. They all know we all have a life, and if you're in the middle of driving, obviously you can't confirm within the first 5 minutes. But don't go until 15 minutes before the due date, like the due date or due time that the self-tape is due, to just cancel. Easiest, quickest way to lose relationship with a casting director, and for them to just bypass your name when they're looking at submissions.
So reliability. At the end of the day, we have cell phones. Like, you have the ability to get text messages. I know you get your alerts from text, email, and the app. You get all three for every audition that they send out, or callback or notification. So there's no reason why anybody can't respond within an hour. If you're in a movie, when you get out of the movie, check your email real quick. Like, this is your business. You don't, like you said, you don't need to pull your car over to respond. But when you get to your destination, sit in your car for a minute and know that you got an audition and just reply.
Confirm and cancel. That's like one of your 3 to 5 responsibilities as a working commercial model actor. Confirming or canceling.
And I will confirm that is one of the best ways also to maintain your relationship with your agents. Your agents will be annoyed beyond belief if they have to constantly try and track you down to get a response from you. And imagine if there's 50 projects they're working on. They have 200 people on their roster. They have 150 who all have been called in for something or other. Imagine how long they have to spend at the end of each day, by their day's end, by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, having to confirm with all the talent. So if there's 150 people that need confirmation and cancels, and if half of them don't do that regularly, that's really annoying.
Right. And it's your actions. Casting gets mad at them. They're getting the receiving end.
Yeah.
Because they're representing you. And so when they're getting upset, it's because you ruining the relation. You're making them look bad by not doing your job. Well, the reason why you're confirming and you're canceling is because you're being considerate of the casting director, because if you can't make it, they need to find somebody that can fill your spot. Simple as that. And if you're twiddling your thumbs, that could be somebody else's spot who can make it and who wants to make it. It's being considerate. That's all it is. It's not about you. It's so much bigger than that.
It's that simple. And if responding fast gives you a better chance at booking work, respond fast. That's really all it breaks down to.
Right.
Okay, so what's another way to build? So that was a good one for both casting directors and agents.
Right.
What's
so we
another one
said
for
perform well. So one. So casting directors performing well when you're on the audition room. Great response time with confirmations or cancellations on your auditions, our casting notifications, and being on time to your auditions is great, even though they run behind a lot.
Hurry up and wait.
Never be the reason why it's running behind, though, is the key. Always show up on time.
Yeah.
Always show up on time.
How about reading directions?
Ooh, absolutely. Reading directions, self-tapes, and I guess in person. So I guess in person, taking direction well and listening to the session runner. And when you're doing self-tapes, reading it thoroughly and reading it. We overlook them so much because even as a veteran, I'm like, and it's coming from the same casting. I know this is how they do it. They do it like this, horizontal, chest up. That's how I would do my slate. They want the action in this. Never know. We don't know. Read it thoroughly. They want first and last name. They want the height, where you're from. Don't mention your agent. Like, there's just so many, all these like front and back of hands sometimes, like, but don't send me, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now.
Yeah.
Like,
But sometimes it's 10 pictures and two videos, and LA Casting only allows you to upload 10 items, and you're like, okay, what do I do? Find a way.
Exactly.
Do it. You may think that like these are long emails, you get them maybe multiple times a day. Maybe you're lucky and you get multiple of these a day. Take the time to read them and follow the directions, because they're going to know when they're looking at 500 of these who didn't follow the directions.
Yeah. And it bleeds into real life work when you're on set. It'll be just like, it sucks that, like, they're basing everything off that one mistake that I just didn't see, or I forgot. It's a reflection of the possibility of you not being able to listen and take direction when you're on set. Sucks, but that's reality sometimes. Do your best. Just do your best. Sometimes you won't be able to deliver. Say it's a 24-hour turnaround. You got the audition and you're not even home, and you have to do it at your best friend's house. You won't have the wardrobe. Things like that come up. Read it thoroughly and see what you can do, and just try to give your best.
Yeah, not everything's going to be perfect, and you're not always in the right situation. Bria just booked a job, and she recorded her initial audition at a dark hotel room because we were at a wedding this past weekend.
That's funny. We did the same audition. Yeah. And I was on set, and I had to do it on set.
You did yours on set?
I had to do mine on set. People going in and out. I was like carrying the tripod around, trying to find like a place with good lighting. It was it was crazy. I definitely wasn't wearing the wardrobe, but you got to do what you got to do. They'll see that. Yeah. They'll obviously see that.
You're on set. You're not in your normal casting spot. They're going to know that.
Yeah. There is one thing that I did, and I learned this through my commercial workshop.
Okay.
Not everybody has to do it, but I did it ever since I was taught that. After a job on set, I made a little card, a thank you card, and put like a $5 Starbucks gift card. And I said, hey, I just finished Target. It was such a blast. Thank you for the opportunity and bringing me in. I appreciate you.
Oh, wow.
And you just send to me, it was like, I think it was $5 to $10 of Starbucks,
Yeah.
And I remember.
To the casting office.
To the casting building. And I know specifically, I remember going into DB casting with Dina, and we didn't know each other by name. I didn't think she knew me yet. And she was like, you're the one who sent me the gift card, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's so sweet of you. It's nice. Like, it felt good to give back, because you're making, however much you can give them. You don't have to either. I mean, you really don't have to. But it's just a nice way to show, like, thank you. They just made you, a ton of money for one job, and they brought you in. And it's just a great way to show your appreciation is all. And to build rapport possibly in the future.
If you're not going to miss that $5, that $10, like, it's just a nice way, again, for the next time you see them, like, maybe they'll remember. But, I bet 99% of people aren't doing that. So if you're going to be one that's doing it, that's great. Well, this was Building Relationships. This was a conversation with Camille and myself. We hope you enjoyed it. And we're going to do more. We're going to bring more and bring us questions, bring us concerns, bring us more topics. And we're just going to keep it going, because we have so much more to talk about. But we hope you found this helpful. Follow us on Instagram at bookit.yt for more stuff. And until then, go out there, do your best, build relationships, and
book it.
Hey. All right.